Hi, I'm Hunter. I want to talk to y'all about making Magic the Gathering decks for Commander. So, grab a chair and a cool glass of sweet tea, and let's talk about some sweet brews. In this video, I'll show you some of the free online tools that I use to make Commander decks. And hopefully, this video will encourage you to go out and maybe build your own Commander deck. These tools can help you build a deck that you're proud of. What better place to start than with EDH Rec? EDH Rec is a fantastic place to start for looking for new deck ideas. It's also a great place to look for staples, for different strategies. There's just a lot of data here, but some people might argue that it limits experimentation. Oftentimes, deck lists can feel kinda samey when everybody's using the same resources and grabbing all the same cards. And another point to that is not every card necessarily is a good card that fits with that commander. There's sometimes that a card is commonly played and the rules don't actually work in the way that most people think it does. So be very careful in making sure you're picking cards specifically for the purposes that you need for that deck and for your deck's game plan. So let's look through EDH Rec. So on the home page, you have the commander of the day. There'll be a search bar up here. But a really cool thing that I like to do is I just like to click on commanders and just go explore. I want to explore today. Let's go look at some Orzhov commanders. So what it'll do is it'll pull up all of the black-white commanders. And what we can do is we can just go click on somebody. Let's go look at Felisa, Fang of Silverquill. When you go and look at a commander, it shows you how many decks are currently on the database and where it ranks. And the rank is like the number of decks being built. Also, we see all the different strategies that are typically used in this. These are by no means things you have to do, but you can see a lot of decks doing +1/+1 counters. If we look over here on this bar, we have some quick links to take us to different sections. All of these cards can be overwhelming. Don't feel like you have to fit every single one of these in there. This is more of like a helpful guide, or again, a tool to help maybe find some creatures or some cards, some lands, planeswalkers, whatever, that you might not have looked at before or found before. So now that you have an idea, maybe one that you got from EDH Rec, and you want to start building a deck, the next tool is going to be what gives you a place to actually put that deck online so that you don't necessarily have to just go to the card shop or whatever. Build complete decks all in one place, and that's going to be over at Moxfield. Moxfield is one of my favorite deck building websites. On Moxfield, you can create decks, store decks, and go look at some of your deck lists. So I could go in here and click on decks that I have saved. I have a bunch of folders where I have them organized and placed in. Let's look at Gruul, Dangol Stang. So for this deck, right, I have the tags enabled. So if I have the tags disabled, tags being, like if I go click in here and change the tags, I have this card tagged as a ramp card. But if I enable the tags, it like uses tags to sort out all of my different, I guess, effects and types that I've got going on in this deck. So I've got my draw, I've got ramp, protection pieces, a lot of really cool stuff. Very helpful when you're building a deck. This is a good way of organizing your deck as you type into this bar, say like, I want to add some cards. I don't know, let's just say Lightning Bolt, right? It's awesome red spell. Click it in, and boom, Lightning Bolt, already tagged in removal, gets added. I'm not actually going to put that in the deck. I actually need to thin things down to make room for more land. There's a lot of really cool stuff here. Most importantly, I would say, is this mana curve. If I notice that I've got a lot of 3-drops, and I'm like, oh man, my deck's a lot slower than I really want it to be, I can start dropping 3-drops. I can come cut some of these and add more 2 and 1 drops. and then you've got your mana production and your lands. It's a good way to visualize kind of what's going on, and you can view it in a bunch of different ways. So if you like viewing the actual cards themselves, you can change the view types. I can put them in stacks to look like this, but for me, I just usually just stick with the text. I absolutely love Moxfield. I would highly encourage you to check it out the next time you try and build your next commander deck, which is super easy. Just click this button right here, new deck, and then example deck. And then who's going to be my commander? Let's just say Captain Lannery Storm. Cool. And I can just create that deck. And what it does, it just goes ahead, puts her in the command zone, and I'm off to the races. I'm going to need mountains, so I'm going to add mountains. If I could spell mountain. And add that. Then I'm going to enable tags, because I know I'm going to need some 2-drop. Well, actually, it's a 3-drop commander, so I'm going to need some 1-drop stuff. So maybe a Wayfarer's Bauble, Soul Ring would be really helpful because she's a red and 2 colorless. Maybe you don't know what cards to add. That will lead us to the very next tool, and that's going to be Scryfall. Now, when you type in Scryfall, this will be what pulls up. This is all well and good or whatever. Just click this button right here. Yeah, advanced search. Now we're talking. So not only can I just search the card name, I can look for specific text. I can look at card types. I can choose if I want to say I want legendary creatures because I'm looking for a commander. I can say, or maybe I'm looking for legendary cards that are not creatures. There's a whole lot you can do here. The creature that I mentioned earlier, let's say Lannery Storm. Say I'm looking for red cards that draw. I can type draw. I'm looking for cards that say draw that fit in a red commander deck. And let's just start there. Let's just see what pulls up. 535 red cards that have draw somewhere in the text. It's a lot to look at, so I like to sort them by EDH rank. So that way, Faithless Looting would be a great card to put in there. Thrill of Possibility, Idol of Oblivion, because if we're making treasure tokens, this could help us draw. See, there's some synergy there. So there's a lot you can do here, but something that is really cool, if I go and click on a card, and I scroll down here to the tagger, now I'm in Scryfall's tagging system, and I can see exactly what tags: repeatable draw, sacrifice a self, tome, synergies with tokens. So I might be looking for synergy with tokens if I decide to go like a treasure token theme with Captain Lannery Storm. Let's say I'm looking for synergy with tokens. I could click this, and this is going to pull up all of the cards that have been tagged with synergy with tokens. But I don't need blue, green, or white. I need just red. So if I click this button, it makes me view it in Scryfall. And then I can use syntax. I want to pull this up. Syntax are like little shortcuts that you can use in Scryfall. I know from looking at the syntax is I'm looking for the color ID or the color identity of red. And let's see what pulls up. Okay, so now we've got 13 cards that fit in a red deck that synergize with tokens. Some of these might be what you're looking for, they might not be. It just depends on your deck and what you're looking for. And so I encourage you to just keep exploring, keep looking. Scryfall, I mean, I have spent a lot of time just digging, looking through cards sometimes. And who knows, the more you look at, the more you might get inspired and find the very next deck that you might want to work on. Well, y'all, that's really all I've got today. I appreciate you coming around, sitting down, talking about Magic. Until next time, hope you guys stay safe, have fun, and stay sweet.